Okay, so I'm pleased to say I'm with Lexi Berg at Cafe Koko in London, who is going to be on stage later on tonight. How's it going, Lexi?
It's going really well. Thank you for coming down.
It's great to be here, and I believe your heritage is Swedish-American, is that right?
Yes.
So, which of those countries were you born in?
I was born in Sweden,
Okay.
but my mom's American, my dad's Swedish.
Oh, okay, so that's how... Yeah, those
That's the
parts of
Swedish-American, yes.
Yes. And I believe you had quite an interesting upbringing because at one point you were actually living on a boat, is that right?
Yes, I lived on a boat for the first couple years of my life.
Okay.
And then once I started school, we got a little flat, and then
Yes.
we kind of stayed on the boat.
Okay, well that's got a link to Camden Town because there's quite a lot of people live on the canals on houseboats in
I
Camden
live on the
Town.
canal now.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
In
But
Camden?
no, not in Camden, lower, more west.
Oh, right, so you
Yeah.
carried on the water lifestyle.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
But I don't actually live on a boat. I live
Okay.
just on the canal, but we call it the boathouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it overlooks the canal.
Yeah.
Right, very interesting. But a bit further downriver from Camden Town.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Right, well, we'll move away from boats back onto music. So you're actually a classical trained piano player, is that right?
Yes.
So did you go to music college and that sort of route, or?
I did when I was very young.
Yes.
So kind of 10 to 13 years old. And
Okay.
then I decided that classical piano was too rigid and too strict.
Okay, yes.
And I started singing pop.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So you got into pop quite early?
13 or something
Okay,
like
you
that.
went
yeah.
to more pop.
That's when I started. That's when I had my first singing lesson.
Okay, yes. Yeah, so that got you to where you are today. So in terms of your style, would you say, are you a pop rock act or with some jazz as well? How would you describe your...
This question is so hard because I think I would say my instrument is piano, but
Yes.
obviously now with synth sounds and all that stuff, it's become a little bit piano with an electronic vibe.
Okay.
I love to add an acoustic guitar sound to it, so
Right.
it adds a touch of Americana to kind of an indie pop sound.
Okay, yeah.
And then I love, messing around with the sounds of the synth.
Yes.
So having like a really strong Moog, I don't know if you know what that is.
Yes,
but yeah,
Moog
like a
synthesizer,
really
yeah.
Moog synthesizer underneath it, and having kind of weird harmonies behind it to just add a little bit of
Yes.
edge to it.
Okay.
So I'd say it's, pop songs
Yeah.
with a classic melody,
Okay.
but the sound around them have a kind of modern electronic
Yes.
piano singer-songwriter vibe.
Okay,
with
so-
a touch of Americana.
Right, so a few layers of sound, synthesizers and things like
Yeah.
that. Okay, so in terms of your performance tonight then, obviously it'll be yourself at the piano singing, but will you have any additional instrumentation?
No, just me
Just
on the
me,
Nord.
Okay, tonight. Okay, so rather than a traditional piano, you will be on a, well, I guess they call it a stage piano, I think, don't
Yeah,
they? Those-
exactly. So it's a synth.
Yes.
So it has loads of different sounds. So I'm only playing piano sound on one of the songs
Okay.
because of
Yeah.
the vibe of this gig.
Yes.
I usually write everything on my actual upright piano, which my
Yes.
grandparents gave to me, which was on the boat
Okay.
when I grew up. But now, I love just messing around with the classical vibe, but just playing a kind of an electronic piano rather than a classic.
I see. Yeah, so
Acoustic piano.
So your influences these days have come away from the traditional classical
Yeah.
influence somewhat.
But playing like a classical melody with an electric piano, that's what I love to do, kind of
Okay.
messing with
Right.
the brain.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there are some influences from other genres come in.
Yeah, and I have a harmony pedal as well, which makes
okay.
loads of electronic harmonies behind me that sound a bit weird.
That's unusual because there's a lot of people with guitar pedals, but yes, to have a keyboard pedal that isn't just a sustain, that's
Yeah.
more unusual. So
Well, it's actually not for the keyboard, it's for my voice. So it's a vocal harmony pedal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Right. Oh, that'll be interesting. We look
Yeah.
forward to that later on. So, in terms of the material tonight, will it be a mixture of old and new material that you'll be doing?
Yes. So I think probably half-half.
Yes.
I'm always more excited about the new material
Yes.
because it's just newer.
Yes.
I think almost every musician feels that way.
Oh yeah.
And I'm really excited about the songs that I've written, but I still love the songs that I've released.
Yes.
And I love stripping them back and messing them around a bit as well.
Okay. Yeah. So that sounds like it's going to be an interesting set.
Yeah.
It's just a bus going past. So I believe you've done some music for film as well.
Yes, I really want to become a a film composer at some point.
Yeah.
You know, there's very few women who actually are composers. I think it's 98% men
yes,
at the
for
moment.
Film.
Yeah,
you're
for
probably
film.
Right there, yeah.
And I really want to get into that world, but because I messed up my classical training, it's a little bit harder for me because I have to learn the production and the writing in a different way.
Okay, yes.
But one of my songs that I wrote was chosen to be on the soundtrack of a Oscar BAFTA nominated movie called Pieces of a Woman.
Okay.
But the song is called What If.
Right, yes. I believe that was on Netflix, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was on Netflix. It has an amazing cast, a really incredible movie about something very painful.
Right.
So, you know, if you're going to see it, bring some tissues.
But in terms of writing, you'd like to get into more film score writing?
Yes, definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great.
I think that comes into my music, my normal music as well. I love soundtrack music. You know,
Okay.
like I listen to Hans Zimmer just in my free time.
Ah.
I love how epic it is.
Yes.
And so creating soundscapes, that's the dream.
Yes. Okay. Do you have a studio where you already put together these?
I'm doing it at home at the moment because I just
Yeah.
really want to learn how to do it myself. I've worked with
Okay.
some incredible producers.
Yes.
And they've taught me so much, but one of the things that I always struggled with working with a producer was not being able to describe what I wanted.
Yes.
Because I didn't know how to do it.
Okay.
So I'd have to kind of try and explain to them, but I didn't know what sound was. I would be like, I want to, you know. And so it just made the process a little bit different, and they were incredible, but I really want to learn how to do it myself.
Oh, I see. Yes, that makes sense.
And again, I don't think enough women do it themselves, so that's what I want to do.
It's interesting. Do you think there's any reason that not so many women go into film score?
I think it's very technical and it's very male oriented and it's quite lonely because that's with production as well. I know there's a big rise in female producers now, but
Yes.
you know, it's still seen as a mainly male dominated part of the industry.
Yeah, I guess it is. It can be a bit isolating because you maybe have to spend a lot of time in a studio with going through the film score. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that's part of.
Yeah. And I think the film industry in itself is probably very male dominated.
Yeah, perhaps that's a reason as well. Well, Hans Zimmer seems to have quite a monopoly on a lot of.
I know, he does everything.
Yes, so there's got to be room for more people. I've often thought that because his name seems to be on everything. I thought, there must be room for other composers. To come in. Okay, now in terms of new music, I believe you have some new things coming out soon, is that right?
Yes, I have a bunch of my new songs coming out in the new year,
Yeah.
hopefully January, February, and more, sooner. This cover of Old Lang Syne that I
Okay.
did is coming out on the 17th of November, which you can
right.
find on all platforms.
Be ready for New Year then?
Yes,
That's
exactly.
Often when it's sung, yes. Yes, well, it is still sung that, yes, because it's an old
I
song, but
sang
still
it.
today.
It's such a
is-
beautiful song, honestly. It's such
yeah.
a beautiful song. It's sad that it's only sung on one day.
Yes, yes. Well, it has, I guess, mostly sung at New Year, but occasionally sung at other times. It's sort of one of those songs that's, yes, talking about togetherness. So not necessarily Christmas. It isn't a Christmas song as such, but it's a kind of togetherness song that
Yeah, it's a
can
folk song.
Yeah, it can sometimes be sung at other times of year, but
Yeah.
I guess has been adopted at Christmas time, New Year time, hasn't it? Really, it's come into that. All right, that's great. Now, in terms of performances, after today, have you any more shows coming up before Christmas? Or?
Yeah, I have a show where I'm supporting one of my very good friends, Night Music,
Oh, right.
at Piano Smithfields. I think it's in the Barbican.
Oh yes, I know. I've been there actually. Yes, it's a
Is
nice,
it a good venue?
It is nice. Yeah.
Yeah?
The Smithfield one's coming up.
The 22nd of November, so that's very
Okay,
soon.
November, yes.
And then I have another one in January, end of January, which I can't remember the date, but I think it's around the 19th, and that's in West London.
Oh right. Okay. So a
Yeah.
bit of time off at Christmas, and then you'll be back.
Yeah.
Back into it in the new year.
Yeah.
Yes. But I guess as you're not far away from Camden Town, are you quite a regular visitor to the area? For
Yeah, and I love Koko. I think it's such a good
Okay.
venue. But
Yes.
the Big Room is one of my favorite venues in London.
Yes. Yes. Well, the
Yeah.
part we're in tonight, the Koko Cafe, that's a newer part.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of years.
Yeah, but I love how they've redone it, and I love all the
Yes.
people, and I love the vibe, and and the band. I just saw a band called Island Man on Saturday, and we absolutely loved it. Yeah,
Oh, right.
well, not cafe, the big one.
Okay. Yes. The main venue. Yes. Okay, well, it sounds like some interesting shows coming up. So, where's the best place online for people to find out about your music?
The best place is Instagram.
Yes.
Lexi Berg Music.
Okay.
So LEXIBERG, like
Yep.
iceberg.
Okay. Yes.
And there you can sign up to my email list, which
Right.
is the best way
Okay.
to find out about upcoming shows.
Yes. To update it. That's great. Sounds good. Well, thanks a lot, Lexi, for speaking to us tonight on Camden Town Radio.
Thank you so much for coming all the way here so far.
Yes. Well, we're just a couple of blocks away. Yes, not too far for us to come, but yes, it's going to be great to listen to you at this show tonight, and we wish you the best with your upcoming releases and the show tonight and future shows.
Thank you so much. Hi, this is Lexi Berg on Camden Town Radio. Keep rocking.